episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. I am your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother saying, man, viral hip hop news. It is a motherfucking Monday.
Yeah,
we're in a building. We feel good. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What's popping? As y'all know, man, we back in the building once again, kicking off the year the right way. A little disappointed, man. My Eagles lost to the Saints yesterday, but it is what it is. Happy to be alive. Happy to be blazing through your speakers for yet another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. Sam, man, how was your weekend?
It's dope, man.
Cool,
I mean, how could I complain? What a beautiful weekend. What a beautiful year 2019 has been so far.
Yeah, man.
We are working nonstop.
Yes.
Delivering the best content that we can on all three platforms. Yes, three platforms. Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course, the official Uncensored Truth podcast channel.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to all three. Yeah, man, was watching some football. Was vibing, was chilling.
Yeah.
I think I was 4 for 4 on my picks, though. I called all the winners this weekend.
Okay, dope.
You know what I mean? So that was good going into the championship. 1 versus 2. The Eagles lost yesterday, but you keep it in G. It's a lot different than it was when we were babies.
Yeah.
Talk about the game real quick, man. What's your thoughts about the game?
Tough game. You know, Eagles jumped out. You know, I thought that they had a chance, even up to the point where when they were driving the ball at the end. I'm like, the Eagles are going to pull this one off somehow, some way. Probably win it by a point, but Alshon Jeffrey, you know, couldn't get his hand on the ball. It was a good thrown ball and everything. Just happens, man. Tough. Just wasn't our year, man. Last year we had the magic.
Well, you see Alshon Jeffrey blaming himself for the loss. Do you blame him for the loss?
I mean, I think you can definitely put it on the shoulders, you know what I mean, for the loss, because if he wouldn't have dropped it, who knows what would have happened if he would have caught that ball. So ultimately you can. There was other things in the game where Eagles can point to where they could have did better, but ultimately he had the chance to catch it. He's a wide receiver. You got to catch it. He just didn't.
I think you're being a little too harsh for the brother, but that being said, I understand. You got to catch the ball.
Would Jerry have missed it or Randy?
No.
Yeah, you got to catch that ball.
It's a clutch situation. You got to catch it. And I don't think it was a situation where 9 times out of 10 he catches that ball. It was just happened to be that one time where he dropped it. He might have took his eyes off. It was ready to run before. One of those flukes, and then it happened to fall into the Saints' arms. Something that you just, the last thing you want to happen. He's sick about it. Had a hell of a year. Top 10 wide receiver. He'll be back, man. So shout out to Alshon Jeffrey. But
what do you think about the quarterback situation going forward? Do you see how you see it playing out? You think Foles is gone, or do you think they should keep him?
Well, the one thing I really hope as a Redskin fan is that it doesn't happen and it doesn't go peacefully. I hope there's drama. I hope it's dissension. I hope there's a lot of bullshit involved. I hope they end up keeping both of them and we get a nice quarterback controversy. But realistically, the way the Eagles have been looking the last 10, 15 years or so, I see a situation where everything ends well. They look for a nice home for Nick Foles. He's involved in a trade situation where he's kind of pointing the finger on where he wants to go in an ideal situation, and Jeffrey Lurie lets him go for a nice couple of picks. Now that being said,
what's a first round pick, or
based off of his last 2 years, they're gonna shop him as one. Now we've seen him go down to St. Louis at the time. I don't think he ever spent any time in LA, and he's with Jeff Fisher, and that was just tank.
Couldn't get it done.
That was dog shit. So he comes back with Philly after being with Philly at first with Chip Kelly and did his thing with Doug Peterson. It was real. That wasn't dope to see, but he clicked. It was like almost like a Belichick kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, man, it is real interesting to see. Carson Wentz still has pressure on him because when you got a Super Bowl and then you got this run and Nick Foles didn't do anything to cost him the game. We're talking about Alshon Jeffrey right now. We may be talking about some plays on the defense. We're not talking about Nick Foles costing him that game. So he did everything for them to be in the NFC Championship right now. Carson Wentz is on a real short leash right now. If he does get picked as a starter, and I think we both think that he'll be the starter of the Philadelphia Eagles next year, being the younger one, having the more upside, being the more talented overall quarterback. But just Foles has it, man.
Yeah, man. It's just like it's a tough situation, for the organization. I don't think it's a situation. I think Foles has a look in his eye. Like he wants to keep trying to win championship. And if he can't get it done in Philly, he's not going to be able to get it done on the bench behind Wentz. So they're probably going to unload him. But like you said, I was just thinking the same thing, man. The pressure now was on Wentz to deliver a Super Bowl, period. You got to. They're going to give you some more weapons, try to show up the defense, even make the line even better. We got like 3 Pro Bowlers on the line, so you can't get no better than that, really. But it's going to be a rocky. It's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made. I don't think it's cut and dry yet in that front office.
Now, when you talk about a Nick Foles who's damn near barely touching 30, and then you got a real young Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Foles was talking about retiring, not having real love for the game, and then getting a resurgence back in Philly. So he has plenty of football left, not really been injured or anything like that. A real smart, talented quarterback that, if he gets under the right system, can do some real good damage. So it remains to be seen. Carson Wentz, kind of injury prone. Talented as hell. I would love to see him on Washington, but that would never really happen. But has been having injuries the last couple of years. So he does have pressure. Do I see, if a Nick Foles leaves Philadelphia, Carson Wentz losing his job to whoever their backup will be? No. But I definitely see them going into a situation in the 2020, Jesus Christ, it's crazy. Where they draft a quarterback. So a lot of pressure on them.
East next year is going to be, you know, I think it's going to be Cowboys and Eagles again. Just the way that things are looking. I don't know, you know, but the Cowboys are going to be back, and I think the Eagles will again. The Cowboys look good, man. They looking good there.
I never trust the Cowboys. Jason Garrett always kind of just does exactly what I need him to do for the Cowboys to stink. And they had their one good year. And it was like when Dak first started, they had that phenomenal year. Everybody thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. The next year, they were garbage. Then everybody thought they'd be cool, and they were garbage again. And now they did this. So now all the expectation is high for Dallas, and they're probably going to go and tank next year.
See, the thing is, it's like, this is what separates the ones and the sixes and the ones and the twos. And that's why they're in the championship game, because those games that the Eagles fumbled around and the Cowboys fumbled around and lost, now it comes back to bite you on the end, and you don't have that home field advantage. You got to keep going on the road. That's hard as hell to do, especially in the playoffs, to win on the road. So you got to get those games early on, put yourself in position to be a 1 or 2 so you can get that home field advantage so you can get into the Super Bowl. The Cowboys probably should have been in the Super Bowl this year with their talent, but they fumbled too early. It's
a must. You think about the rest that you can get with a first round bye, being at home all week, the preparation you get. A lot of teams back in the day, you would worry about being cold going into the week, them not really being on their feet with the week of rest. But now it's a benefit with the way these players can rest and just get the preparation and study the team. And then the other team having to travel after coming off of playing a week. Traveling is never easy. It's never easy to do. So it's definitely, you got to have that 1 or 2 seed. As far as the NFC East is concerned, as much as it pains me to say, I see Philly just because it's the most solidified franchise in the NFC East. You got a Giants team that looks like they're rebuilding. A very inconsistent Dallas Cowboy team where Jerry Jones wants to have a spotlight, and then the coach isn't really a coach, and you never know what to expect with Dallas. And then Washington, my team, is just probably one of the most poorly ran organizations in all of football. Definitely top 3 most poorly ran. So we could go out 5-6-0, and I still don't really have any confidence that we'll get into the playoffs with a damn thing in it. So it pains me to say that as a fan. So they're not really in the conversation right now until some serious things get changed. With that being said, 1-2 in the playoffs, definitely exciting, and look forward to it, man.
Yeah, man, it's going to be an exciting week if you do watch the NFL, but you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Today, on this Monday, man, we are happy to be in the building, and peace to everybody listening on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. Sam, and we got to dabble back into this one more time, man. We saved this story, for this date right here to talk about, our good brother Dame Dash, the R. Kelly situation. Well, Memphis Bleak pretty much sat down and did a podcast, and he called my man Dame Dash a liar. I'm gonna play this clip right here, and then we definitely gonna talk about this, bro.
There's been a lot going on at the top of the year. Everybody know I fucks with Dame Dash. This is my guy, Rockefeller history. But somebody got to tell he's bugging.
He's tripping. He's a clown.
You bugging.
Then the kid shit.
And then you gonna really say you wasn't down with niggas. You was opposed to it. Which any camera, all these shits. You fucking lying. I'm on my flex shit. You lying with that. Whoa.
Oh, so that's Memphis Bleak coming out. Now, what he's saying is he's lying about is pretty much that he wasn't down for the Jay-Z and R. Kelly collaboration, the whole project. I think it was called Unfinished Business, or The Best of Both Worlds first, and they come back with another album after that. So what do you think about this, man? Memphis Bleak, who we know is Jay-Z's right-hand man. We know that he's been on the inside. And from what I know, a pretty stand-up brother, coming out calling Dame Dash a liar. What are your initial thoughts on this, man?
Well, if there's one thing we know is Memphis Bleak was around for all of it. He's there. He's in The Rock. He's Jay-Z's man. Jay-Z's man to this day. Jay-Z takes care of him. That's not takes care of him, my bad, but always known to be Jay-Z's guy. Let's just put it that way. And He says that Dame Dash is this guy, never really heard any animosity. So it will kind of paint you toward the direction of going, yeah, this might have some weight to it. Dame Dash is highly respected on this podcast. Highly respected. But you got to go, it makes sense. Now, he said in his defense that his name isn't on any of those albums. He wasn't involved. He wasn't in the Fiesta video. He wasn't around R. Kelly. He wasn't around. It didn't seem like there were any shots at Jay-Z for that matter. So you could kind of understand where he's coming from. But if you weren't there, it was just off of speculation. Now, I kind of want to lead toward the side of Memphis Bleek. I wouldn't go as crazy as to say he's full of shit. He's corny, because now I think these are little shots. And this is interesting because I believe this was on Tidal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's channel. So the dude calls him a clown in the background, Jay-Z's channel. And then you have Memphis Bleek saying, I'm on my flex shit, which now seems like it's on a little bit of an attack in the flex. And now you're talking.
That's a cosign.
So like, I'm in, you know what I mean? Subconsciously, what are y'all doing here? Now, it may have some weight to it, but what are y'all doing here? So what do you think about it? Are they trying to call Dame Dash full of shit all the way?
I mean, he called him a liar. He flat out called him. The other dude called him a clown. He said he was on his flex, shit. What the average person, would say, okay, he's co-signing some of the things, if not all the things that Flex was kind of saying, calling Dame Dash, I think it was a few, weeks ago. But again, to talk to Dame Dash, about this, but he did leave a little clip, right here. So I'm gonna play this clip right here off the Nick Cannon's class podcast, and then we'll further elaborate.
Because I was always taught that relationships are more important than money.
No, relationships should be based not on money. It should be based on that person being solid. Look at the situation now. Look at R. Kelly.
Unfortunately, I worked with him.
Everybody was looking the other way, right?
But y'all worked.
No, not y'all.
Not you.
All right, so what? Don't put me in
within Rockefeller.
Don't put me in that. No, ain't no Rockefeller on that.
Ain't the Not Guilty song with Jay and R. Kelly? They singing, I ain't doing it. Not guilty. That's on that. Just because you ain't in the video, I got you on the set.
You don't understand something. I remember having a conversation with Aaliyah, and I was like, yo, tell me what happened. And she was like, she just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And I just left it at that. And she said, leave it alone. So what you think I felt? I'm human, bro. But I had to look the other way.
Right.
All these years. So publicly, that man did a record with that nigga that raped my girl, that he liked as well. Right? Wow. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
But no one said that.
So we say that was some of the beginning of just y'all not.
So Dame Dash has been pretty much called out. Pretty much what they're saying now is like, look, you was with it. You know what I mean? With this whole thing. Don't try to back out of this shit now. Now that the heat's on R. Kelly. At the time, we know that Dame Dash was dating Aaliyah at this time where they were doing the album and everything, in which we know that Dame was there. Memphis was there. I mean, that'd be an interesting conversation to have. But what they're trying to say now, that Dame is lying. You was with it the whole time. Now you're trying to just back out of it because the heat's on R. Kelly. Do you think that's the case, Ant-Man?
Very interesting.
I mean,
do I think that's the case? I think that it may be a little bit of the case. I think that knowing and giving Dame Dash's, and we don't know him personally, but just seeing everything that we see via and getting the gauge on him throughout the last 2 decades, having a conversation with Aaliyah, I could see him approaching R. Kelly. I could see him being one of those dudes that we were talking about, punching in the eye or rupturing or a rib or doing one of those things. Because he's going to call it for what it is. And if he's in that dude's presence, it's going to happen. I would love to hear more of Memphis Bleek's perspective on this, as opposed to just saying, you're full of shit, I'm on my flex shit. Because was he cool? Was he clapping him up? Well, I mean, how was the extent of the relationship? Or was he just doing set? Y'all know he didn't fuck with him, and now you just doing this as an agenda. I don't know. I have a tendency to believe Memphis Bleek to a certain degree, but I can't help but to think that there's a little bit of a little jab thrown toward Dame Dash, given the fact that this is on Tidal. You never hear any Jay-Z's perspective. And I was going to ask you, do you think this time, given all of this, because this shit's serious, and now you got Jay-Z and Beyonce being thrown into this, Jay-Z and Foxy Brown being thrown into this, will this render a response, even in a record? Because we see Jay recently respond via music. Do you see Jay-Z in the near future even responding to Dame Dash and all this is what's going on?
He may, you know what I'm saying? He may, throw a shot of something in the upcoming, album. But, you can kind of, I mean, we know that Memphis Bleek, he runs Do Say now, which is part of Jay-Z's company. So they're connected. They talk to each other. So that's like kind of like if me and you, like, we're going to echo the sentiments of each other. So obviously, Tidal and all these other people kind of, in my opinion, feel that Dame Dash, they look at Dame Dash in a certain unfavorable way. You know what I mean? Obviously, and it came through their platform. Again, I would like to hear Dame Dash address this, whole situation. Now, Dame Dash did, to his credit, pretty much saying that it was the R. Kelly and Jay-Z situation that kind of led to the demise. It was one of the reasons why they broke apart, Rockefeller. You know what I mean? I do remember hearing that. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know who's right or wrong here, but it's definitely an interesting, situation. My thing is, if he wasn't with it, why did Jay still do it? If he wasn't really with all that, do the project with R. Kelly.
Well, I mean, it makes sense when you start thinking about the demise, but then I'll think to myself, was it this or was it Leor? Or was it a combination and a pepper and both?
That'd be good to know. But
who knows? But yeah, it'd be awesome to hear even Memphis Bleek's perspective. I'm kind of leaning toward the sentiment of you, like it has some weight to it, but we just got to hear more at the end of the day. I do see I do believe that Dame Dash, given the fact that this is Memphis Bleek getting back on Kenyatta's platform, shout out to our brother Kenyatta, CEO of Hip Hop Motivation, and having an answer to this, because I don't see Kenyatta letting it pass by. I see them having a conversation and him asking about what Memphis Bleek said, and then I believe we'll hear a response real soon. Yeah,
and we definitely, once we get it, we will be airing it here on the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman going in today on this Monday. Everybody listening on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. Well, speaking of Tidal, there's a report that came out today that Tidal is under investigation for allegedly inflating streaming numbers. Now, according to several reports, Tidal is being investigated for inflating or allegedly inflating streaming numbers. Now, Bloomberg noted a probe was being conducted on a streaming platform by a Norwegian authority for an investigation of economic and environmental crime, also known as ACRIM. Hope I'm saying that right. The investigation was sparked by a report from local newspapers, along with claims from Norwegian artists associations. The associations claim they lost out on money due manipulation of streaming data from Tidal. I guess it meant to say due to. But the attorney issued a statement and said it's been made known through media coverage that the reports relate to Tidal streaming service and a suspicion that someone has manipulated the number of plays of songs. Now, a lawyer from Tidal did respond to the claim and said Tidal is not a suspect in the underlying investigation. We are communicating with Ocarum. We are aware that at least one person we suspected of theft has been questioned, and this is coming from the Bloomberg Quink.com, this particular article here. Sam, man, what do you think about this? Tidal being under investigation allegedly for inflating numbers, which is ironic because Jay-Z accused other people of doing this, but we don't know for sure. What do you think about this?
I'm not an expert in it. My gut reaction is this is bullshit.
Right.
Definitely. This is a way just to kind of tear down Tidal. You often see that in the race with Spotify and Apple Music, Tidal is the one that's often not talked about, the one that they like to mention being third. I don't know anybody. I know I got Tidal. I know you got Tidal.
Definitely.
I know plenty of other people that got Tidal. Obviously, people got Apple Music because they got the iPhone and it's easy, but I love Tidal. I love it. So I have absolutely no problem with it. I don't see anybody over there having to manipulate numbers in order to do what? If you're calling them last place anyway, what are they manipulating numbers for anyway? Now, we know back in, I believe, 2017, Sprint acquired 33% of the stake following reports that Tidal was in discussions with Apple about a sale. So I don't know if Apple's pissed off about maybe that. Maybe that's why people get the mud. Tidal gets thrown. The mud gets thrown on Tidal, excuse me, and things like that. But I can't help but to think that sometimes Tidal, they just want to get them out the way.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, what he did with that company, it's pretty amazing. I mean, when you really think about, the landscape of music and how it's changed for one of Jay-Z's company to be right in the thick of things. Like you said, it's the way the application runs is beautiful, smooth, and I gotta say I like it better than iTunes.
Yeah,
I just do.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
So
but yeah, man. But we'll keep you updated if there's more information that comes out on that particular story. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman going in today on this Monday. Everybody on YouTube, you already know what to do. Hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. All right, man. DJ Academics and Meek Mill, man. Now, I don't know if you know about this, Sandman, but Academics was going back and forth, with Tekashi's baby mom. Now they're beefing with each other, and Academics, pretty much came out and suggested that she was sleeping around, you know, with Shotty, Treyway Shotty, and then the wiretaps, you know, would suggest that there was communications with each other. But Meek Mill, we know about the storied history between Meek Mill and DJ Academics. You know, they really don't like each other like that. Well, Meek Mill said something today on his Instagram. He said, "You definitely suck 6ix9ine off. You telling on his baby mama now." He puts an emoji there and he put, "God bless the internet." Sam, and what do you think about Meek Mill calling out your boy, DJ Academics, man?
The whole social media thing is just funny to me. It's so corny, but he had a right to, because a lot of what Academics is doing over there is real corny. Now, you brought something to my attention because I thought Academics was a lot older than what he is, and he's only 27 years old, which says a lot to me because he's young. It's the oldest 27 is, and he has to hold himself accountable for his actions. I'm not by no means giving him excuse for his actions, but he's still young-minded, still immature. Now, I can remember being 27 and where I'm at now, and it's a whole different Sam. It's a whole different Sam, man. You feel me? So I understand where he's at, and he's in an age where he's winning, and he's doing his thing, and he's getting his numbers, and the people that he likes and he's a fan of, they know him and they respond to him, and he's a celebrity. 27, and it's a lot of things that he's going to do wrong. That being said, that's some female shit. How dare you have the nerve to talk about somebody's mother, somebody's son's mother, just because you ride with 6ix9ine, and have the nerve to be running your mouth and gossiping? I thought you reported the news. I didn't think you were Shade Room. I didn't think you were one of these people spilling fucking tea. But it looks like you just out here gossiping, and that's corny. And that's where you can see a lot of people going like, because this stirs shit up. We talked to Miss Shabazz, and an incredible attorney out in New York, and she said a lot of what's going on in Tekashi 6ix9ine situation, social media has really nothing to do with it. I don't want to disagree with the attorney because she knows better than I do, but I just kind of have a sense of saying, nah, it kind of does. And when he runs his mouth like this, and he has Tekashi's name all in his mouth, still trying to create financial situations for himself and Tekashi by degrading people's name, especially out here living. Somebody that's a woman now. She could be scorned. She's young. She's gonna do what she wants to do on social media. That don't mean you got to report it. We ain't reporting it.
Right.
You feel me? So
yeah, man.
What does that say to you?
Yeah, man. You know, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, with that one, I wasn't really interested. When I heard about the whole him going back and forth with the baby mom, I just kind of seen it. But you know, that is what it is, man. He definitely should have been called out. You know, that's just some suck. I don't know, man. I don't have much to say on that shit, man. It's
you
corny.
Got a lot to say on that shit.
It's corny, man.
It's corny though.
Yeah. You know, that kind of is what it is, that whole situation, man. You know, but yeah, man, you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sam, man. Going into today on this Monday, I want to talk about this story right here, Sam, man. You made me aware, you know, of Tank, you know, calling out, you know, who you think is the brother Jacquees. You know, Jacquees, I think is how you say his name. I'm gonna play this video and then we'll you know, talk about this. This is Tank speaking.
Can't do this without no auto-tune. Then you need to get yourself a new guy. He can't even sing. Right by the sky. Don't put me in with thoughts of their own deed.
All right. Now, obviously, Sam, man, you think that he's taking shots at Jacquees with this one.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Well, does Jacquees use autotune?
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about fucking Jacquees. Now, there's a lot of other R&B singers out here, or trap soul singers, I guess you can call them. Today's age really likes using autotune. Now, we talked about a Future. Now, we had a real great discussion. This is how this whole thing got started, with a Future discussion. We talked about it on the podcast on Friday. We got a little backlash from the younger people. And and saying that we don't understand the youth and things like that. And by no stretch of the imagination will we box ourselves into those kind of people that don't want to hear about the youth or anything like that. Not trying to do that. But this is a classic conversation of what we're talking about. Because when we say we miss R&B, real R&B, we miss somebody giving a soul on a record and you genuinely just hearing them. We don't want to hear this you melodically turning this and doing this and not doing this, and then we go and enjoy something live and it's something completely different. That's no disrespect to your craft. That's no disrespect to your art form. But then when you have the nerve to ordain yourself the king of R&B, we still got brothers like Tank that could play the piano, that can go sit background, that really understands the art of R&B music. That's a disgrace. And when he's able to go ahead and play the piano and run and talk shit and you couldn't do it back, respond.
Yeah,
you can't respond.
So you don't think that Jacquees can get it in like that?
Hell no.
Just gimmicky. So you don't think he really sing like that? It's just because that auto tune is, to me, is corny too, man. People just, I saw this one cat who got it implanted to his arm.
That was scary. What the fuck was that? Right? What was that?
I don't know. That shit looked nasty, man.
That was scary.
Yeah.
I didn't hear him talking. I was just watching it because my daughter was
I know.
But I was like, yo.
I ain't want to watch it after a few seconds.
That was scary.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know what I mean? That's why Jay-Z made that song a long time ago, The Death of Auto-Tunes. Not because, you know, he was trying to hate. It was just like he knew where it would take the music. People would get lazy, and people will now be able to come out and just be making all this song. Well, it really waters down, you know, the art form. With people, like you said, once they hear some genuine, you know, good R&B. Sometimes you might want to put a good R&B song on, man. I like to listen to good R&B. Sometimes I don't want to hear that auto-tune mess, man. And if you got to use that and you can't, you know, sing the right way, and it's just like you said, it's just sound the same way, you know, when you're doing it, you know, on the stage and in the studio, should be no different. You know what I mean? If you need to put auto-tune in your mic to perform in front of your people, you whack to me.
And I'm not saying
it's almost like having a ghostwriter for a rapper. Go ahead.
No, I hear you. And it's not that I'm trying to kill the genre to begin with, but when you use weapons pretty much, or you use extra things to try to enhance your sound, and then call yourself the king of R&B. How dare you?
Laughable.
Come on, man. You can't do that. 90s is, Jesus Christ, 20 years away, but it's not that far removed. Not when you still got brothers out here doing their thing.
Right.
I'm an R&B singer. You can't do that. So, I mean, shout out to Tank for being able. He just had an album come out. I forgot the name of the album. I'm going to check that album out because I'm a Tank fan. And salute, man. That's tough love right there. Because nobody wants to. Jacquees could be a real force in R&B because he has a great sound. He has a great following, but he has to hone in on his craft better and really take the art of singing more seriously. And if you're going to call yourself the king of R&B, give us some real R&B records.
Wow. So in your opinion, you said R. Kelly was the king. That still remain?
Yeah. R. Kelly's the king of R&B, and the king of R&B is a pedophile. Can we just know that? Or the king of R&B is alleged, he's alleged and will always be an alleged pedophile. He'll always have that asterisk. Let me put it that way. R. Kelly will always have an asterisk next to his name when it comes to being the king of R&B, or a period when it comes to his music. And unlike a Michael Jackson, unlike anybody else polarizing out here, he will have that stigma. So even if he never goes to jail, he'll always have that stigma that he's probably one of the most disgusted R&B singers, period, performers ever. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Man, video shows R. Kelly knew. Oh boy, gotta get to that in a second. All right, this headline says video shows R. Kelly knew Aaliyah was 14 before they married. Man, let me see this real quick. This is real time, people. Let me see what this is.
Man, I thought we were done with R. Kelly. I was happy.
I just want to see what this is.
Even with Dame Dash and Meek.
Swap in your space. Look at this guy out here. He's playing, right? He's playing his stuff. But see, I need your spot. I want to say thanks to you. I'm for pickpockets right too. Come back.
Yeah, we're gonna break that one down. That's like a 4-minute video. We'll get to that maybe next time.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get to that tomorrow. I don't think that's too much of a big deal. But that's pretty crazy though. When you were just talking about that, I seen that shit pop up. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is what it is though with the R. Kelly. You know, the situation, man, is like, you know, and one thing that people were saying in the comment section, it was like, man, when we had the attorney on, it was like, how can I keep that same energy, you know, going in on? I'm like, well, you can't. Everybody's not to be challenged. If she felt a certain way about, you know, R. Kelly, because they were kind of saying that we were maybe defending him because we came with the our stance like he hasn't been convicted, but people are saying now y'all switched up when an attorney came on and y'all ain't say nothing defending R. Kelly. What do you think about that?
I think people need to chill the fuck out sometimes, and that's love. But they get told, and they really just got to listen. If you listen to the overall body of a very long conversation, I mean, hell, we talked about this all week. Last week, every day we had something involving R. Kelly. If you go back and you genuinely listen to the entire body of work, the same premise is there in each one of the conversations. We're going to remain objective in this situation. Why? Because we own two businesses and people sue you. So we're going to remain objective and not slaying anybody's name out here so that we can receive lawsuit. That being said, we're going to give it raw and uncut, and you're going to know as men how we feel by the end of this conversation. Thanks. And we're going to give things that may be popular to some, may be popular to others, but we're going to give you a 360-degree spectrum. So when you ask us, why you got this energy here, or why you got this energy here, just real dudes. We're gonna give it to you real. We're gonna give you this side. We're gonna give you that side, and we're gonna leave it up to y'all to disseminate. Now, if you ever see us getting to a point where we're attempting to steer a narrative, leave that in the comment section and let us know. We'll address it. But we try to remain as objective as possible. So don't sit there and go, oh, y'all, relax.
Right. Yeah, man, definitely. I definitely can agree with you on that one. But you're tuned in to the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Sandman and got over here from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Everybody listening on YouTube, I need y'all to do me two favors. As always, hit the like button and go ahead and share this video with a friend. Let them know the Uncensored Truth podcast is in the building. All right, let's talk about this story right here, man. A 21-year-old man named Malik Mollett, and you let me know about this story in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Well, now I'm going to read the police report, then we'll talk about this. According to the police, the driver was working as an Uber driver on December 29th and received the email from Uber letting him know that a previous rider left a package in his vehicle with a phone number where he could reach the passenger. On January 2nd, police were dispatched after the Uber driver called 911 following his discovery of marijuana in his car. Now, January 9th, a state trooper posed as the Uber driver called Mollett to meet up and retrieve his lost package. When police called, Mollett answered and said that he had left the package in the car, that he would meet the Uber driver disguised as the trooper at a location. Now, according to the criminal complaint, he confirmed his name and told the trooper that the bag in question was black. The trooper took a picture of the bag and sent it to Mollett, in which he confirmed that it was his bag. Wow. The trooper then made an arrangement to meet Mollett at a McDonald's in Irwin, PA, where Mollett arrived at the restaurant. A trooper went inside and gave the bag to Mollett, followed by another trooper shortly who took Mollett into custody. This is crazy. This is all over the internet right there. It was 2 pounds of some fire, man. Damn. You fucking snitch. Sandman. Come on, man. Damn. Sandman. What do you think about this, man? This is crazy, man.
I was going to ask you when I first read it. Like, I was going to ask, is this who's dumber? The guy that left the bag and left his number, or the Uber driver? Which one is worst in this situation? Now, thinking you just off of just the strength, you like, damn. Uber driver's fucking snitch.
He snitched, but it's like the dude is like, at some point you got to think like, damn, like, I'm not going back. This is a setup.
I'm gonna have to set this up. I'm gonna take this.
You gotta take this L,
because you got to think now. We thinking of it in the minds of us. A lot of people in the comment section. I see Jay Mills. He said this Uber driver ain't never hustled a day in his life. That's coming from our perspective. It's a lot of Uber drivers out here. This might have been somebody that might have not thought like this.
Yeah.
And been smelling that and been opposed to it.
What would you have
smelling this? In what position? Give me my position. Am I the Uber driver or am I the dealer? Or am I the person with the bag? I'm not the dealer.
You're the Uber driver and you see somebody who left a bag in there. Yeah. First of all, you shouldn't be opening the bag.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what do you do if you're the Uber driver?
Hypothetically speaking.
If
I'm the Uber driver and I find out what's good, I have a conversation with my man. I let him know that I have no problem giving him his stuff back. I'll let him know that we got a good price. We got a good price going on with this as a thank you. And I'm going to need a couple onions on that. I'm going to need a thank you note. This is 2 pounds. It's been smelling in my car all day. I ain't touched it. I'm going to need a little bit of that. Especially in Pennsylvania where it's only decriminalized. I mean, you obviously got 2 pounds. You got to distribute.
Hypothetically speaking.
Speaking.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I now, all right. Now, what if you was the dude who left it in there?
Taking that L.
Taking that L.
I mean, you figure that's hypothetically speaking, if we were to know, that's about $3 grand, 3,200 probably.
Well, to see the thing is like, how long did it take?
No,
like,
no, that's 2 pounds, like
right,
62, 64.
Right, but how long did it take? You know, for him to realize that? Because if he caught him right away, maybe he could have doubled right back. It must have been like a little gap in there.
Should have waited a couple of days.
Yeah, that's too long.
December 29th, he left the damn bag. This January 2nd, he got in touch. You got to take that L, man.
Yeah, you got to take that L, man. You lost a couple of dollars, but it is what it is. A hustler can always get it back.
Honestly, if I'm that Uber driver, I'm probably not even picking up the damn phone. Once whoa, shit, I am not picking the phone up.
So he opened up I mean, bad about this. Probably no chance of this guy getting off because they set him up perfectly. He went and said it was his. They got him. Yeah, they got him. They got him. Damn.
And he called him. He went back. So it's like, it's not like the Uber driver seen that. They obviously have information. They both got their information. He went back and called. He was trying to get his. That's like 60. Like I said, 62 to 6,400. Maybe 50.
It might be. I mean, it's still. You still has to go to jury, and it could be a chance where they might think it could be the Uber drivers. We never know. I mean, if you think about it,
they got.
Is there a shadow of a doubt? No, if there's a shadow, whose weed is it though? What if he said that wasn't my bud?
That's true.
I mean, just hypothetically thinking.
Hopefully, he done sold a couple more of them drinks. He got a good lawyer.
I mean, you always, because like remember, it's not what happened,
right?
You know what I mean? So I mean, it might sound stupid to some people, but people have gotten off of some shit like that. But that wasn't my bud. Why'd you call him back?
Let's keep it serious real quick.
Right.
He's 21 years old. 2 pounds of marijuana. He obviously made a mistake, right? How long is this brother looking to do in jail right now? Because it's obviously about to get him on distribution. 2 pounds of marijuana.
He might do a little time for this one. Maybe like a year or so too. It's just weed at the end of the day, but you never know. It all depends on his criminal record. It depends on the laws in Pennsylvania. I know it's decriminalized, but I'm not that much.
Not that much.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing right there. So, again, if he has a good lawyer, he may be able to wiggle, maybe not out of it all the way. You know what I mean? Because remember, he's going back for the bag. He never said it was weed. He's going back for the bag. He could have said somebody put something in his bag. I'm just keeping it. You know what I mean?
Let's say hypothetically speaking,
right?
That's about $6,400. He lost.
They set him up.
Is that worth his life? Do you call back? Not his life. I mean even 6 months of his life, a year of his life.
He probably thinking it's an Uber driver. You never know. You know what I'm saying? He's probably thinking, oh, they ain't gonna go into my bag and shit.
That Uber driver was a sucker.
Yeah, because just like you leave your book bag, you ain't expecting nigga to go in your shit if you leave it in the car, or taxi or something. You're not really expecting that.
Right.
Really, like just keep it a buck.
Really.
You know what I mean? So that is what it is. It's a sad story, man. Hope this brother makes out good.
End of the day, who's worse to blame? Who do you blame in this situation?
The Uber driver, you's a bitch for that, man. Because you like it ain't. I can see it. It's just like dog. Like it's just some bud. Damn, it's just some bud. It's not gonna hurt nobody. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. And to keep it a buck, you got states where it's legal. Right now, you can make money from selling it. So a few 100 miles over, guys going to jail for it is hypocritical, man.
You got politicians in Oregon trying to make it legal in all 50 states, all 52 states in 2019. And now this man will be sitting behind bars. That's what I mean. For a couple months, whatever. But now he'll be behind bars when it's legal. That's a slap in your face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It looked like some fire too.
Yeah,
man. But anyway, man, tough loss there. Hopefully that brother doesn't have to, do that much time for that. But yeah, man, you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God, and Sam, man, going in today on this Monday. Everybody subscribe to the Uncensored Truth podcast channel. You can look in the description box at either channel that you're watching on, or go to YouTube and type in the Uncensored Truth podcast. Man, we got the official channel up right now. Yeah.
Indeed, man. We feel good.
Yes, sir.
We definitely feel good. We'll be back on Tuesday, tomorrow.
Yes.
With another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. And of course, with Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
We're going to add another live day in there soon, man. I know we're talking on viral. We got some good things popping over there.
Hell yeah, we got to, man.
But we're going to get another live in here for the Uncensored Truth podcast as that channel is growing in abundance. Thank you to everybody from Hip Hop News Uncensored.
Yeah.
From Viral Hip Hop News. We see y'all. We see y'all coming in drones. We see y'all supporting the movement.
Yes.
Keep sharing, keep subscribing, keep it coming, man. We sincerely appreciate it. We're going to do some giveaways soon, man. I know we were talking about it a couple months ago, but we're about to get that into effect. Get some hats, get some shirts.
No, I was thinking, not to cut you off.
No, man.
I had this thought. I was like, we'll pick like maybe a couple people. We'll pick their comment, whether it be negative or good. We'll read it, and then we'll try to, if they see it, then we'll send them something as a way to keep, you know what I mean? So we'll pick the comments from whatever video. It's a hot video. We'll read the comment and then send them something, whether it be an Uncensored Truth shirt, viral hat, You know what I mean? Just a couple times, you know what I mean, a month or whatever.
I like that.
You know
Don't
what I mean?
good or bad, just the top, whatever.
Yeah, to keep people, you know what I mean, you know, engaged, looking out for their comment.
I like
on
that.
the air.
Dope.
So, you know, fiddle with new stuff. We almost at 4,000 subscribers on the Uncensored Truth podcast channel, man. Mad excited about that. Make sure y'all go subscribe to that one. Also go to hiphopun.com for all your latest hip hop news. That's all I got over here, Sam, man.
Indeed, man. That's all I got too. You're listening to the Uncensored Truth podcast.
Yes.
Follow Hip Hop News Uncensored, the Uncensored Truth official channel. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Till tomorrow, we out of here, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.